Why, when people say, "Oh, I'll be there today," do they just not show up, not call, not text? 2 days go by, and I have to reach out and go, "Hey, man, what happened?"
Mm-hmm.
Why is that? Why does that happen?
I
And
know.
just like Hayden, when you guys were moving in your house, why didn't those people communicate effectively and not cause you all that heartache on moving day?
Because there was one person who failed in the communication chain of 7 people because it's a very inefficient process in which they have.
What the hell do you need to be communicating with 7 people to move into a house?
So when we moved
Unless they're
in,
your friends and they're helping you move.
the company that we use is based in Arizona, so they're on like a different time frame from us.
So I want to clarify: is this a company that owns your rental property, or
Mhm.
okay?
So they're on like a different time system
Zone.
or
Yeah.
zone. Yeah,
Time
thank
zone.
Time
And
system. They
Arizona-
live outside of time.
Yeah, Arizona's the only one that doesn't do that stupid daylight savings
you.
thing.
So when we were like communicate with them, it was pretty smooth. But the original agent that we had went on vacation leading up to our move-in, so we got paired with somebody else. And we were trying to get through everything. And they were like, okay, cool. You're going to get an email to sign all the stuff, and this is at like midnight our time. So when it comes into us, it's timestamped one day. But when it went from them, it's timestamped another day.
Right.
And so we sign it all, it's like 1 a.m. By the time we're done, we go to bed. We move in like 3-4 days from there. And they were like, all right, cool. You signed it, in 3 days time. Once we get everything worked out, we'll send you another link to pay the deposit, and then you can move in directly after that. Never showed up. Morning to move in, we're like, what the fuck? Like,
Right.
we have no
high
code to
stress.
get in the house. So we call them. They're like, yeah, you haven't paid your deposit yet. And we're like, yeah, y'all said you were going to send us the email, and it never showed up. And so we went round and round for about 2 hours with them about like what the process was. And finally we get this one lady, and she's like, oh yeah, because it's an online thing, it like auto locks out. So what you're going to have to do is go to the bank, get a cashier's check or whatever the thing is called, and
That's
take
what
it
it's
to
called.
the local office, which is brand new. They didn't have as of like a month before this. Take
So
it to
those
the
people
local
have no
office,
idea what they're doing.
and they're going to have to mail it to Arizona, and they can verify it there. And I'm like, we're supposed to move in today, though. And so she's like, okay, well, maybe they can work out something at the office. So
No, not maybe. Let's just say not maybe.
not how
So
this is
Cheyenne's
gonna
like-
go.
Cheyenne's like, all right, fuck it. Y'all load up the truck. I'm going to go to the bank, get the check, go to the office, and yell at them there.
And I still personally think that was Cheyenne's way to not load the truck. She was just lollygagging all around town, driving around in her car with Athena.
Whatever. At least Athena wasn't all up
I'm
our ass the
kidding.
whole time.
I'm
Well, no,
kidding.
she should have took Athena to the shop and been like, "Hey,
Right.
So
Yeah.
she goes, she gets the
Oh.
check. She gets to the office, and the lady at the office is like, oh no, they could have just unlocked it for you, and goes, boom, yeah, here you go. Now you can pay it online like normally. And Shine's like, but I have a thing.
I did what you said."
But
And she's like-
I have
she's
this
like-
check now.
The lady at the office is like, yeah, but we don't
take
need that.
checks.
Like, you
We're
can
not
just
a
do
bank,
it,
lady.
You can just do it online. And Shine's now like, but all of my money is here.
It's
It's
here.
I
literally
no
I'm
longer have
tied up
money
now.
in the bank. So she has to go back to the bank, cancel that check,
Can I not have this anymore?
and then pay it online. And by the time she was done, we were done loading the truck and halfway to the house.
Right, that's what I'm telling you.
It
She was
was-
just riding around town, her and Athena.
It was crazy looking on our bank statement, though, because it was like minus X amount of thousands of dollars, plus, minus, plus,
Right.
minus. I was like,
I was
what
just
the
going to
fuck?
say, I'm really glad y'all didn't get like capped for money laundering or something. It sounds like a
Right.
huge scam.
Yeah.
I'm glad you moved into a house instead of just somebody absconding with your
Absconding
thousand.
with your money, right? I
was
know.
like, what the how is this our fault? And the lady on the phone was like, but there's just nothing we can do. And Shine was like, what the fuck do you mean? There
But
has to be there's a button somewhere
There's a
that you
button.
can click.
yeah, there's a
Mom,
link. There's
Bernie
a
Madoff
button.
is his landlord.
There's a button somewhere you can click that just unlocks the system. So I want to give you this money.
Right. I'm
Why
here
is
to give
that
you money. But how come when I'm an asshole to people, I like get reamed for it, or I lose a client, or I'm made out to be the bad guy when I short deliver a product or something? But when other people do it, it's just like, that's just the way it is.
Because they
It's
don't give
always
a
my
shit.
experience.
It's what?
I'm never allowed to be any kind of way.
Oh, I know.
It's
Like,
they
because
don't give a
didn't you
shit.
just go through it with your new door?
Oh yeah. Look, I've got stories based on like everything y'all have been saying. So like, for example, Hayden, we have it wasn't a rental situation, but we were selling our private residence to a company
Investor.
that manages
Yeah.
property, right? Which, in hindsight, I wish we hadn't done. Like, they paid us cash, so that was huge, and like
You're part of the problem.
I know.
You
I
are
know.
the problem.
I'm not kidding you. I made a mistake, really. So they paid us cash. It was the only reason we could close on this house so fast. Whatever. I would probably do it different, but it is what it is. But anyway, so we had to do what's called a buyback. So we sold them, or not a buyback, but like a rent.
A lease back.
Lease back, that's it. So we sold them the home, and our closing date wasn't until 3 days later. So, we're still moving gradually, whatever. And here's the thing. We had to work with the sellers of the other house that we were moving into, the one we're in now. And they were like so... I can't even describe this to you. So they were renters for like the last 10 years for this house. So we knew there was a lot of like stuff that needed to be done to it or whatever. So we offered exactly what they were asking. Everybody else lowballed them by like 10 grand. So we just offered them exactly what they were asking and figured nobody's going to even offer that. So we should be fine. But in addition, we told our realtor, go ahead and like put an addendum that like we'll beat anybody by like $1,000, right? However, even though we were approved for about 60 grand more than we put the offer in for this house and were approved for, there was no way, like everything was going to work out, and they knew that. But the lady in the married couple that owned this home, the lady did not, or rather she worked as an insurance underwriter, so she's seen like all kinds of stuff go wrong for one reason or another. So she was like way overly cautious, super panicky, whatever. She didn't want to let us do anything.
Yeah.
And so we knew we wanted to paint and like do some other stuff on the inside before we actually moved everything in. That way it had time to dry and whatnot. So we're like, listen, can we just stage stuff in the garage? Like, we're not going to take it inside, like whatever. Just, we need to start moving this out because it's going to be a quick turnover for us. And she pushed back. Finally, she agreed. And she like was very stringent about this. She's like, okay, well, you can do whatever work you want, but we're not liable for any of it. And you can put whatever you want in the garage. But if anything happens to this deal, every bit of work you've done and everything you have in this house just belongs to me now. Okay, lady, fine. I don't care.
Suck my big toe.
We're moving all this stuff gradually, and like really all that we have at the other house at this point is like a mattress to sleep on, right? So it's like I had to work every single day we were moving. So I would work like 10 hours, come home, move stuff all day, for the rest of the night. And then we'd call it a day at like 10 o'clock. I'd go to bed and then go to work the next day. And I get up at 4, so... The last day we were in there till midnight, like 11:59. We had just put the key like on the thing and closed it, and we're done. We had spent all night cleaning up and fixing everything and whatever. So a couple of days go by. We're fully moved, like everything's all good. Ariel is like, "Where's our deposit? Like, where's the money? Like, we should be getting stuff back, And then not only did we not get like the deposit or whatever, they then billed us for an additional like $1,200 or something. And we're like, what you doing? So
Like that's
they
going to be a no.
right, they claimed that we didn't move out on time and we left like stuff dirty or whatever. And my wife, I don't know because I wasn't present, but let's just say the situation was resolved quickly.
She found that overdrive button.
Boy, she hit that button that Hayden was talking about. That like this will be solved right now.
Yep.
It was not a pretty sight for them.
I don't know what or who the property manager for my apartment was, but my dog is older and either she's a bitch or couldn't hold it or whatever. She would pee in this one spot in the dining room. And I know the carpet, and there had to have been damage to the subfloor. There's no way. But like the carpet was fucked. She ate a part of the carpet. Like, there's
Wow,
no
this
way.
looks yummy.
Granted, we lived there for 4 years. So
Bronco did that here, by the way.
So like, obviously they're probably going to replace the carpet at this point. But in the like estimate statement, like how much things would cost when we get our final move out thing, it was saying like, oh, if you've lived there for 4 years or more, it's 40% of the value. Yeah. Well, like we owe 40% of the value of
right, because they'll be doing it regardless.
Yeah. And so when we moved out and we were here for a couple days, I'm like, I've got nothing from them yet. Like I'm assuming a carpet replacement on 1,100 square feet is a good chunk of money. 40% of that, a few $100.
It's definitely not the change in the bottom of your sock drawer.
Right. And so I'm waiting. Finally, we get this like priority mail that the mailman has been banging on my door every day for.